I'd love to thank the LEGO Ambassador Network for providing us with these sets. And without any further ado, let's dive into Monkie Kid. In this video, we'll be taking a look at the three smaller sets. Up first is 80056, Nine-Headed Beast. This set has approximately 757 pieces and goes for $99.99 USD, so it's about $100. I'm not super sold on this set. It's a really cool look, and if you're looking for like a kind of beastly eagle demon creature, it's great, but it's very expensive for what you get. It does, however, have a pretty neat wing flapping feature, and I mean, if I must say, some really cool looking wings. The flapping is very smooth, but it does require a decent amount of force to get it down because the wings are so heavy. So I could see it being a problem for kind of younger builders that might get their hands on this set, because it can take a lot out of you. I'm kind of trying to tie my thumb out there. Now, the legs were a little bit of a problem for me, so they click forward quite nicely, but when you go to splay them out, mine would just come off. I'm not sure if it's because of a specific piece, or this color of the piece, or if maybe I even attached it wrong. I haven't run into this issue on the other set this wave that uses this piece. The foot, small amount of posability. There's no quote-unquote knee articulation. Each of the heads can be moved around. Two of them are on mixel joints. One of them is on a ratchet joint, and the other are just on bad robot arms and skeleton arms. Here's a look at the two smaller builds in this set. You have a little Monkey King mech and a shrine that has the MacGuffin crystal for this season nestled inside. Here's a look at the minifigures from the front. And here's a look at the back. There's some excellent printing going on these. Here's a look at the alternate faces. And here's just some nice shots of the set in action. If I hadn't been sent this set, I definitely wouldn't have gone out of my way to buy it. That might change with the show, and maybe this beast is really cool in an animated form, but I don't think it's a very strong set for the price tag that's being asked for. Maybe if you ever saw it on sale. Here's a look at set number 80055, Monkie Kid's Team Power Truck. This set contains 712 pieces and retails for $79.99 USD. All of these will be in USD, which is functionally $80. So this is a cool, big kind of truck set, or some kind of like soil storage from an excavator yard. The back panel folds down and reveals a kind of little kitchen and setup. And the whole unit can be removed from the truck bed and serve as a portable noodle bar for Pigsy. Here we have a detachable little fighter. And the stud cannon, of course, fires, but I avoid keeping studs in them. Less mess. Here's a look at the little side builds. First up, we have a little mini bulldozer. Next up, we have a pinball machine. A little bike for Monkey Kid. An evil worm / millipede creature that the villain rides on. Its body is mixel jointed, so it can get into quite a number of cool poses. I'm also just realizing I've made this poor little critter wrong. It's meant to have the pink 1x2 tile down its other two leg segments. I must have just missed that page in the instructions. Apologies. And a little crystal holder for what I can only assume is the MacGuffin for this season. Here's a look at the minifigures. The backs of the minifigures. And the alternate faces for the ones that have them. Overall, I think this set is quite solid. I think it's a better deal than the Beast. It still feels overpriced, but it feels closer to being an $80 set than the Beast feels to being a $100 set. And with the relatively small part disparity between this and the Beast, I do kind of wonder what validates the Beast as being $20 extra. And last, but certainly not least, we have Nezha's Ring of Fire mech. This is set number 80057, and it has approximately 1,163 pieces and retails for $139 USD, 99 cents, functionally it's 140. The back comes off and turns into a VTOL for Monkey Kid, and the two shoulders are removed to act as its wings, so to speak. The engines have a really cool amount the propellers have a really cool amount of posability. Because of the way they're mounted, they have an axis of movement side to side, and coupled with the spin, it actually gives you a lot to play with if you're trying to pose it for a display. It's really sturdy. Just an overall cool little side build. The main attraction here is obviously the Ring of Fire mech. So here's a nice turnaround. Sorry, it's leaning forward a little bit, but it just shows that it's good at keeping its balance. And here's a look at those sick kicks. He has these enormous wheels on the boot of his mech. And we have knees, which is always really refreshing. Monkey Kid has a from what I can gather, a long legacy of solid mechs, and this just feels like another contender. I didn't have the same problems I had with the Beast's legs, but I did have a problem down here. Now, these two orange bands aren't meant to have a gap behind them, but through posing and play, one kind of will form often, and the pieces will just fall out quite easily as the microphone bumps up against them. If you have them gappy enough, then the microphone can actually fit up there, and you can get a little bit of posability in the foot if you wanted to do that kind of a modification to the set, but normally they block the heel from going very far at all. Here's a look at the minifigures. Here's the backs of the minifigures. And here's a look at the alternate face prints. And here's a look at the alternate helmet for Monkey Kid when he's flying his cool VTOL. It's a bit harder to call the price and value on this one for me. Would I recommend it? If you want to collect Monkey Kid mechs, probably definitely. If not, maybe a pass. Both hands of the mech are attached using a pin connector, and so that allows them to twist around, and you can get some really nice distinct poses with it without sacrificing stability when it's holding the spear. So, what do I think of these Monkey Kid sets as a whole? I think they're all $20 too expensive, at least. With the worst example being the 9-headed beast. And unfortunately, the whole wave is sticker central. So if you're not a fan of stickers, might be best to avoid this. If I could recommend one, in terms of price, I feel like the truck is kind of my go-to. You get all of kind of the main hero characters, and you get a cool villain to go with them. The Beast would be my least recommended. And Monkey Kid's an interesting brand because unless you live in Asia, you can really only order it online. So most purchases will be from people who really want them. And this is all just my thoughts, so let me know yours in the comments below. And until next time, you've been watching Keep the Peace.